Hey guys, Dascar here, and I want to give you a very quick update about a couple of things for the Philips Cup Series Season 8. Starting with the schedule. The schedule is now being completed, so we are gonna go through the schedule pretty quickly. It's gonna be completely different because last season we had only one race per racetrack and all single points and stuff. This season we have at some racetracks we have one race, but most races we have two races, which will be a sprint race and a little bit longer race, and a long race is just as long as last season. Also, some races are delivering single point. Well, most races deliver single points. Some racers deliver double points. So I will take you through the schedule. It starts with Daytona Speed Weeks, which will have the Red Bull Shootout of 15 laps, no points, and the Gulf Duels, the two dual races, and those will be exactly the same as last season. So 15 minutes will be a practice qualifying, then 10 laps will be the dual races. Then we'll have the Daytona 500 at Daytona, which will be a 25% race of the main distance, and it will deliver double points. So that's Daytona. Then we move on to South Boston with a sprint race of 5% and a main race of 15%, and that is of course of the full distance. All the percentages are of the full distance. Both single points they deliver. In the sprint races, 5%. And the sprint races are either 5% or 7.5%, depending on how long the races are or have been last season. Then we move on to Michigan for race number 4 and 5, which will be a sprint race of 7.5% and a main race of 15%, both single points. We move to Zandvoort, and that is one of the 4 road courses. And in road courses, we only have one race, but that one race is 20% of the full distance, so it's a longer race, but one race. So the Outsport.nl Challenge, single points. Then we move on to Utica for race number 7 and 8. The Utica sprint race and the Utica main race, 5% and 15%, both single points. And before that, there is a common deadline. So after Zandvoort, there will be one more week, and everybody who has not commented on the first 4 races or the shootout or the dual races will be kicked out. Then we move on to race number 9 and 10 to St. Joltis. The Extreme Sprint Race and Extreme Main Race will be 7.5% and 15% will be single points. We move on to Grand Detour for race number 11 and race number 12. The Grand Detour Sprint Race of 7.5% and the Grand Detour Main Race, both single points, 15% it is. Then we move on to a new track, which is Le Mans. Yes, indeed, we are going to Le Mans, the Grand Prix du Mans, which will be 20% and double points. Also, there will be a common deadline, so after the Le Mans race, there will be 10 or 1 week, and everybody who has not commented on the races right after Zandvoort and before Le Mans will be kicked out. We go to Buffalo Downs, the Mud Winter Sprint and the Mud Winter Classic of 7.5% and 15%. The sprint is single points, but the Mud Winter Classic is double points. So will be 15%. Then we move on to Motegi, the Motegi Superinterosu, which will be 7.5%, and the Motegi Omona Resu, which will be 15%, both single points. We move on to another new track, which is Columbia Superspeedway. Columbia Carrera de Sprint will be 7.5%, and the Columbia Carrera Principal will be 15%, both single points. Then we'll have the Vredestein All-Star event. That will be 3. Well, it will be a little bit different from last season. We'll have one race. If I'm correct, it will be one race in the showdown of 20 laps, and 4 races in the main All-Star event. 3 segments of 20 laps and 1 segment of 10 laps. So it's gonna be longer than last season. But yeah, the winner gets a spot in the Dascar Philips Cup Series Season 8 chase. So it is quite important. So it should be a little bit longer than what it used to be. We go to Richmond for the Richmond sprint race of 7.5% and a Richmond main race of 15%, both single points. And after that will be a comment deadline 1 week after. So everybody who hasn't commented, who needs to comment again from Buffalo Downs to Richmond. Then we go to Gorilla Snot, which we went there last season. A Gorilla sprint race and a Gorilla main race, 5% and 15%, both single points. We move on to Rockingham for Rockingham sprint race of 7.5%, Rockingham main race of 15%, also single points. We move on to a new racetrack, Pensacola, though Pensacola might be changed out for Alton Park, but I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll see. It might be possible that we're going to go to Alton Park, and then we were going to have two British Grand Prix right after each other. So the Pensacola Challenge, another endurance race, 20% of the main distance, single points. And then we go, and I think that was, we're going to have then, let me count for a moment. Yeah, we're going to go to Coca-Cola for the Coca-Cola sprint race of 7.5%, Coca-Cola main race of 15%, both single points. We move on to Atlanta for the Atlanta sprint race and the Atlanta maiden race, 7.5% and 15%, and that's the last race before the chase. So the sprint race is single points, but the main race is double points. So that will make it even more interesting who will make the chase. Then the chase starts. 5 chase races, 5 chase tracks I would say, and 8 chase races. We go to Syracuse, the sprint race of 5%, single points, and the Syracuse main race of 15%, also single points. Something I forgot after Coca-Cola, the 2 Coca-Cola races, there will be 1 week and common deadline again. So before Atlanta, there might be some people kicked out and changed and stuff. So after Syracuse, we move on to Monza, the Gran Premio di Monza, which will be 20% single points. We move on to Talladega. The Talladega sprint race 7.5% and the Dega main race 15%. Both single points, and after Talladega will be in 1 week common deadline again. So everybody has to comment from either one of the races from Atlanta, Syracuse, Monza or Talladega. And then we move on to the final 3 races. Bristol sprint race 7.5%, Bristol main race 15%, both single points. And of course, the famous last word 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 20%, which will be double points. And that will be the last race of the season. So, that is your schedule. If you still have any questions, let me know. This is pretty much how this is exactly how it's going to be. I already planned everything out. So we're going to have sprint races and main races, except for the endurance races will be on the road courses and Daytona and Charlotte. So that's it concerning that. Now we move on to people who have reserve spot, because once again I will first upload a sign-up video for Season 8, which will be only for people with a reserve spot, and those people for now are Jane Pinter, Giancarlo Robles, and Diana Vasquez. They are from Jane Pinter's team. Jane Pinter is the Dascar president. So also Jane Pinter he made a season 7 chase. All the chase from season 7 made it, and Diana Vasquez is the IKEA Truck Series season 6 champ and also a chaser. We move on then to Joshua Michaels, Ray Takeda and Haruka Takeda. Josh is also Dascar president, and Haruka Takeda is also a chaser in season 7. Joseph Nesto, Bastianese and Jackson Brown, they all have cars, by the way. All the Dascar presidents have already chosen a car except for Diana Vasquez. Joseph Nesto, the TomTom International Touring Series president, even though it's not active. But otherwise he would have still made it, due to Joseph winning the GRC Championship, the Global Rallycross Championship, Phillips Truck Series East Championship, Beth winning the DSM Truck Series Season 8 Championship, and Jackson Brown winning a Martini Endurance Series race. Then John Ciadino, and Bruce Littlejohn are in. John is a president as well, used to be a president, but he's still in due to his presidentship. And then Luke Walker and Leah Walker. Luke Walker, well, that's Pichu London. They are from Pichu London, and Pichu London is the Dascar Pokemon Pro Series champion, or not champion, but president. However, he chose the other two drivers to drive and not himself. So, Luke Walker also the Cintiq 3-hour winner, and Leah Walker being the IKEA Truck Series Season 7 champ. Then we move on to a couple of Season 7 chasers who are in Inge Lambliana, Denise Steinauer, Debbie Myers and Betty Johnson. They have already chosen the car, so if you still want to switch, that's possible, but you have to do it with the reserves, or with the reserve spot sign-off video. Then Anna Gregg, Nicole Tranuich, Jackie Tang, Sean Howell, Chris Washer, which is now double on that because Chris Washer is also Martini Endurance Series champ. Sorry, I did not notice. Jordan Culp, Alex Smith and Andrew Robinson, they have also reserved spots for being in the Phillips Cup Series Season 7 chase. Then we got Daniel Voiles being the Shell Dirtwinger Series Season 3 champ. He has a reserve spot, but he has already announced that he will not race, so if he still wants to race, he could sign up himself. However, the other drivers, everybody who's not on this list cannot be signed up. So even if like the main driver from the team is on the list and you want to sign up 2 other drivers who are not on the list, that's not possible. You have to wait for them. So only the people who are on this list will get a spot, and that will of course come later when I upload the videos, and that will be made clear as well. But this is just as preparation, as an update. Sandra Koers is in a 51 car. She was initially, because she's my girlfriend and a very good friend of mine, so I just put her in. She's my main driver. However, she also won the Dascar Wittgenstein Series Season 7 Championship and the Gulf Super Speedway Series Season 5 Championship. So, she's more than settled done. Then we got Benjamin Miles and Ryan Acosta, the Pokemon Pro Series Season 1 and Season 2 champions. They are in, even though I'm not 100% sure if they will notice it, because they have never been in one of my series. So I will not contact them. I will not contact anybody who is on the list and who I would say like, hey buddy, you may sign up on the Phillips Cup Series Season 8 because you have the reserve spot. I will not do that. But if you see somebody you know, and you can always say to that person, hey, you got a reserve spot in the Phillips Cup Series Season 8. I will not do it though. So it's either up to the drivers or up to friends of drivers or somebody who knows the driver. You can contact them. It's totally fine. But I will not do it myself, just because we have 38 drivers. This one should be here, but I will do that later. We have 31 drivers, so yeah, I'm not gonna contact everybody because then there will be no place for other drivers. So it's just a reserve spot is just to make it easier for you to sign up, but it's not like you must sign up first. And I think you get the point. So Jeffrey Finguy also has a reserve spot for winning the Regional Pro Series Championship from John Cittadino. And the Lights Championship from John was won by his teammate Norman Jyson. So both have reserve spots. We got Tom Gerald, and I still have no clue who that is. Phillips Truck Series West champion. He has a reserve spot. Zachary Robinson has a reserve spot for being the Formula Dascar champ. Dane Amon has a reserve spot for being the Red Bull Knockout Series Season 2 champ. Says Season 1, but Season 2. And also James Shelley for being the 2014 Christmas Royals winner. Here we got the Martini Endurance Series winners. Lena van Dijk, who is already in the 30, and she's the Red Bull Knockout Series Season 1 champ. Harry Hills, who is a winner in the Martini Endurance Series. And Jason Sinclair, who is both a winner and the champion. So those people have reserved spots. That is pretty much all I wanted to say to you. Just a quick update it is. If you still have any questions, let me know. Though I will not be here for the next 2 weeks. I don't know how easy I am to reach. So, you will hear from me. Thank you for watching, and wait for the sign-ups to be uploaded somewhere between the 17th of August and the 20th of August. So, thanks, and I'll see you then with the Phillips Cup Series Season 8.